Focus on the two lines that make this such a relatively a non-story. When Barr pressed him whether he thought Barr's letter was inaccurate, Mueller said he did not, but felt that the media coverage of the letter was misinterpreting the investigations, according to officials. Now, I know Chris Wallace, at the top of your hour, was indicating that, I guess, that he kind of agrees with these other cable networks that this was an attempt by the DOJ to spin what the conversation was between Barr and Mueller. So I don't know if Chris Wallace has information that I don't have, but that he's saying that Barr is perpetuating a lie about this conversation between him and Mueller. I mean, I think if Mueller thought that this investigation was being distorted in its synopsis by Barr, Bob Mueller is a big boy. He could have come out and issued a very terse public statement. Well, he did not do that, Sandra.
Certainly,
instead,
what we're hearing from you,
one of the other members of the merry band of investigators decided to leak this letter right before Barr comes up to testify. Now, isn't that curious?
Obviously,
so as somebody who happens to have known Bill Barr for decades and myself worked at pretty high levels in the legal profession, I find the reporting on this and much of the commentary on this to be harmful
William Barr
and
shortly.
Frankly very disturbing. And I'm watching this in real time, and and this is not spin, by the way. This is analysis of the current situation as it stands.
This is Fox News' Laura Ingraham calling Chris Wallace out amid her theatrics that Bill Barr did nothing wrong. This amid the bombshell news that Mueller felt Barr's summary didn't capture the context of the Trump probe. Ingraham pretends that there was no spin, that how could that possibly be the case? Barr, the same guy who claimed there wasn't an ounce of cooperation with the Russians in the Trump campaign, despite proof that Trump camp officials met with them in Trump Tower, that they shared polling data with Konstantin Kilimnik, who had ties to the Kremlin, that Mike Flynn had conversations with Russian Ambassador Kislyak, that Trump asked Russia on national television to hack Hillary's emails? That guy? The guy who made a vague reference to, 10 different instances of obstruction of justice before unilaterally declaring him off the hook for all of them? Really? Weird. I don't see it. Ingraham goes on to claim that it wasn't Barr's fault, that the media misinterpreted it. But maybe, just maybe, the media misinterpreted the results of the Mueller probe because Bill Barr presented a 4-page summary all but nominating Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. He truncated sentences and omitted information and spun a 448-page report rife with wrongdoing, with evidence of collusion with 10 instances of obstruction of justice, as if Trump's the Dalai Lama. And it wasn't just the summary. He even held a press conference downplaying Trump's illegal activity. So of course the media misinterpreted it. The same way if 10 firemen ran into a building, you might just interpret that as a fire.
I'm watching this in real time, and this is not spin, by the way. This is analysis of the current situation as it stands.
Yep, nothing says this isn't spin like having to tell people it's not spin. And this is Chris Wallace's response to being called out.
You know, I know there's some people who don't think that this March 27th letter is a big deal, and some opinion people who appear on this network who may be pushing a political agenda, but we have to deal in facts, and the fact is that this letter from the special counsel, and it was one of at least 3 contacts with the Attorney General between March 25th and March 27th, was a clear indication that the Attorney General was upset, very upset, with the letter that had been sent out by the Attorney General and wanted it changed or wanted at least added to, and the Attorney General refused to do so. He felt the Attorney General's letter was inaccurate. He says in the conversation he was talking about media coverage. That's not what he said in the letter. What he says in the letter is you didn't reflect what we found in the report. And there are a lot of people, having read now the full report, or as much as it has been not redacted, agree that he didn't reveal what was fully in the report. Again, those aren't opinions. That's not a political agenda. Those are the facts.
First of all, Wallace's distinction is important, that while he works at Fox News as a journalist, Laura Ingraham is just a talking head and nothing more. She has a political agenda, and while she might get encouragement from the president, it's not based in fact. So Laura Ingraham can lean on conspiracy theories about the timing of the letter, can point this way and that to distract everyone, but the fact is that Robert Mueller himself reached out to Barr on multiple occasions to say that what was being said, as a direct result of Barr's spin, which was all that we'd seen at that point, was inaccurate. And that, coming straight from the horse's mouth from the man who oversaw the 2-year investigation, counts for a lot. And so while Chris Wallace's pursuit of the truth is noble, it still reflects poorly on Fox News that they continue to promote a woman who is disproven on her own network on a constant basis. Because if that network is only as strong as its weakest link, then Fox News has a lot of problems.